In the narrative of Korach, so there are three distinct groups that combine to make the rebellion against Moshe. Now, they really are disparate groups. They have no common interest. But the thing that unified them was never Moshe, never Aaron. And that is enough to combine different groups to take common action. So one group, which is the group of Korach, that the group is against Moshe. Moshe's leadership. Who made you? Why are you the ones? Kol ha'edo kulam kedoshim. And that's because Korach sees himself as the equal of Moshe. I discussed that with you earlier this week, that the idea that he saw Shmuel Hanovi is because it says Moshe v'Aaron b'Chohanov u'Shmuel b'Korei Shmo. So you see that in Tehillim, Shmuel is the equal of Moshe and Aaron. So Korach sees himself also. So that's his point of rebellion. His point of rebellion is against Moshe and the role that Moshe plays. The second group are those that bring the Torahs, the 250 people. They're against Aaron. They're against the Kohen. How come only Aaron brings the Torahs? Who's Aaron? Aaron is appointed by Moshe. And why is he special? Why aren't we also Kohanim? According to the Medrash, the 250 men that were involved were Bechorim. And the Bechorim were supposed to be the Kohanim, they were supposed to be the Leviim, and at the moshe or Egel they were dispossessed, and the Shevet Levi took over. So they tainted that the moshe Egel, Aaron made the Egel. Aaron didn't get fired. So how come we lost? So we're entitled. We're the ones that want to be the Maktirei Aktoris. So even though Moshe warns them that the Ktoris is always lethal, it's very dangerous. The Zohar, who's not a Kohen, shouldn't in any way be involved with it. But they're not willing to listen. And they're convinced somehow that a wrong has been committed to them and that Aaron is not entitled. So that's the second group. The second group is against Aaron. The third group is led by Dosan and Aviram. Now, Dosan and Aviram are a study in pathological hatred, which exists. We see it played out here in Israel. We see it played out all over the world. It's unreasoning. It's a disease. And no amount of logic or facts can sway it. That's why Moshe says you have to create that the earth should swallow them up. I mean, there's Moshe doesn't even want to debate it with them anymore. Now, Dosan Vaviram, the Medrash says that Moshe Rabbeinu is the one who saved Dosan Vaviram. Dosan Vaviram were doomed to die in Mitzrayim. And that when they were infants, they were bricked into the wall to die. And Moshe saved them. So no good deed goes unpunished. So they become the great antagonists of Moshe during the entire time in the desert. They make the machlokas against Moshe. But their machlokas is not limited to Moshe. Their machlokas is kaviyachal against the whole process that their Rebbeinu Shalom took them out from Mitzrayim, as you're going to bring them to Eretz Yisrael, that somehow they're bound to all of this. They don't want that. They're the ones, the Gemara says, that they're the ones that always said, Nidna Rosh V'Noshuva Mitzrayim. We want to go back to Egypt. Let's replay the movie. Let's start it all over again. We don't want it. And they say it openly in this week's Parsha. I mean, the pathological sickness allows them to reverse facts. And they say to Moshe, Ma'at ki elisonu me'eretz zovas cholav v'dvosh la'amisenu b'midbar. Didn't you do enough harm? You took us out of a land of milk and honey. Ironically, they use the same phrase that the Torah uses regarding Eretz Yisrael. They call Eretz Mitzrayim, that enslaved them and killed them and almost destroyed the Jewish people, both spiritually and physically. They call it Eretz Zovas Cholav V'Dvash. So that's, that's skewed. But we see that today too, that it's, black is white and wrong is right and aberrant behavior is normal. And so all of that affects, they're a prototype of what exists in every generation in all times. Sometimes it's stronger, sometimes it's weaker. We live in a generation where it's very strong. And because it's very strong, it's hard to deal with. So that's the third. So they're against the Rebbeinu Shalom, they're against the whole process. They don't want to be the special people. They don't want to go to Eretz Yisrael. They don't want a special land. They don't want the whole thing. So you have here three separate groups. One group, Korach and his sons, who survived and who would say Moshe emes v'Torah emes. But that group says not Moshe. And the second group says not Aaron. Moshe said, V'Aaron mahu ki salinu olav. What do you want from Aaron? But they felt it was unfair. Aaron should bring the Torahs. Aaron made the egel. They should bring the Torahs. And they were the Bchorim, and they were dispossessed because of the egel. So they have a great feeling of unfairness, that they're discriminated against. And then the third group is Dosan Vaviram. And they are the ones that are all going to die in the Magefa, the other Jews, who are their compatriots, who also believe as they believe, and who are therefore willing to shift the facts and to call Eretz Mitzrayim, Eretz Zovas Cholav V'Dvash. And they said, Lo nale, we're not going up. So Rashi says, Pivich Shilon. God agreed, so to speak. You're not going up, you're going down. But that wasn't their intent. They said, we're not going up there, it's a show. And the story of the Meraglim didn't change them. And all of this is of no consequence to them because of the fact that they are opposed. So we have here this example of three disparate groups, each one with its own agenda. None of the agendas match each other. If Korach would have substituted for Moshe, he wasn't going to give the kahuna away to these 250 people. And he wasn't going to take them back to Mitzrayim. And if the 250 people prevailed and they brought the Ketores, they weren't going back to Mitzrayim either. And thus and Aviram are not interested in the Ketores, and they're not interested. We don't want another Moshe. We don't want Korach to be Moshe either. We want just leave us alone. We don't want to be part of any great historical process which only creates challenges and difficulties. So, but that's what confronts Moshe here. And Moshe answers them each. So he said, Rav lachem b'nei Levi. You have enough. So Moshe said, who made you Leviim? Korach. So if you're a Levi, then what are you doing with the Bchorim that protest against it? And the Ketores, he said, is going to kill you. Why should you want it? It's lethal. It's going to destroy you. And thus in Vaviram, you say, Lo na'aleh, Ribono shel olam, here's what you say. You're not going. And they don't listen to Moshe. And they are so convinced that they're right that they're willing to die for the fact that they're right. And not to admit that they were wrong. That's what Chazal say, Rishoyim afilu al pischon shel gehenim einam chozim b'tshuva. The Rasha, he never admits that he's wrong. Never been wrong. They're always right. No matter what you point out to them, they are always right. And that's illustrative of many things that go on in our world, in many events that occur. And really this parsha of Korach gives us an insight into much of what is going on, even in our times and in our circumstances. Rabbi Chananya ben Akashi, Omer Rotza Kodesh Baruch Hu L'Zakas Es Yisrael, L'ficha Chirba Lahem Torah Mitzvot Shenemar, Adonai Kavei Shema Tzedkol Yad